Freaknik was the greatest black gathering in America.
It was like an entry point into the black cultural experience.
You tried to bring back Freaknik. It wouldn't be what it was.
The streets, the people, the debauchery. Things that I saw, insane.
Trust me, your mom and daddy got that.
Hip-hop legend, First Amendment crusader, strip club owner, one-time Miami-Dade County mayoral candidate. I just stood so you could read my Uncle Luke for mayor, which I preserved perfectly since 2011. When Uncle
it's
Luke
even
ran.
ironed. Look at that.
This is the only thing in my house that's ironed, dude. Luke is also, of course, a documentary star, an executive producer of Freaknik, The Wildest Party Never Told, the hit documentary now streaming on Hulu. And Uncle Luke can currently be seen right now on the Because Miami podcast, because in his future, on his resume, we may very well see congressman. Representative Luther Campbell is joining us now. Uncle Luke, the bulwark, Mark Caputo broke the news last week that you are considering running for Congress in Florida's 20th district. Where is it at? Have you filed your paperwork? Are we good to go? Is it Uncle Luke goes to Washington time? Is it happening?
Hey, Billy. First of all, thank you for allowing me to come on the show. You know, you got to say that first, and
even if you don't mean it.
Even if you do mean it, I do mean it. I mean, I love this show. Shoot, y'all keep people on their toes, especially Joe Carollo and everybody else. Last time I came on here, I got 1,000 phone calls from your friend down there at University of Miami. But Stop it, Billy. Stop it.
So
leave Joe the fuck alone.
Okay, I'll do that.
Joe alone. I need you to leave Francis alone.
Sure.
I'm glad you left Keon alone.
Well, Joe has to leave him alone.
I need you to leave fucking who else? I mean, who else you? Now you on Carver.
I tell you what.
I mean, I need you to leave Carver alone. I need you to leave all these people alone.
I tell you what. When you're a congressman, then you can tell me. That's it. That'll be the deal. You can tell me who I got to leave alone. And is this happening? I mean, you're making headlines. You're making a lot of news. You've got some sitting congressmen already taking pot shots at you on the website formerly known as Twitter. We'll talk about that in a moment. But what is the status right now? When do you have to file? Have you filed? Is there a campaign? Am I making a documentary about it? What are we doing?
Yes, you are definitely making a documentary about this. I mean, you're definitely the producer and everything. And then we're going to go from documentary to docuseries, because once we win,
right,
if I decide to go in, then this shit going to keep on going. Just imagine Billy Corben in the room where some lobbyist is coming there and he has the camera and this motherfucker is trying to sit up there and sell us a bag of bullshit with the camera on, and then, oh my God, that would be fucking incredible.
By the way, this is part of the reason why I voted for Uncle Luke for mayor back in 2011, where he got, by the way, 11% of the vote, got double digits with not a whole hell of a lot of campaigning or staff or anything. And what I liked about it is, like, people asked him, Uncle Luke, what about transparency in government? And Uncle Luke says, I'm going to do a reality show with cameras following me everywhere I go when I'm mayor. What could be more transparent than that? And I'm like, this is what we need.
That's what you need. I mean, to answer the question, man, I'm sitting there, I'm doing my due diligence, right? Because I live in Broward. I'm somewhat familiar with the politics of Broward County. I'm obviously more familiar with the politics in Dade County, but I'm just doing my due diligence. I mean, I'm going up in the Belle Glade, Pogie, talking to people over there because that's a large part of the district. At the same time, you got a large part of Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County in the district. And then you have Broward County. A large part of Broward County is in the district, which is most of it. And so I'm just doing my due diligence as to seeing the needs of the people in the community, talking to community leaders, talking to different stakeholders and saying, okay, if I do this, what are the needs? And if I do this, are you guys in support of it? Or do you like your current Congress woman? What has she done?
What has the feedback been, Uncle Luke? Are people positive?
The feedback basically is, we supported the young lady, and once she got in, she turned to a diva. We couldn't find her. She comes and have one meeting. She sends staff, and nothing basically has gotten done. Her campaign was self-funded. Your good friend Bobo was her lobbyist in the COVID days. So she made a shitload of money in COVID on behalf of our good friend Bobo, helped out in that situation. And she took the money and ran and paid for the seat. And so basically, when you pay for the seat, you really don't have a genuine love for the actual community. And if you have not worked as a community servant, like right now, you can run for fucking mayor in Miami, and you know where all the bodies are buried at, the needs of the community and all across the landscape. And when you get these corporate people who have not did the work, don't even have any idea as to how much funding a school needs and Medicare and Medicaid and the things that people go through on a regular basis, like we know because we got boots on the ground, we out there every day. They have a tendency of just wanting to get the position for a fashion statement. And so a large part of me in doing my due diligence, I'm seeing this because I'm talking with people like myself and people like you, and we know those type of people. I ain't talking to the bullshitters. I'm not talking to the ones who want $500, and who want to have, no, I'm talking to real people on the ground. Like, yo, what the fuck has this lady done? And has any resources been brought back to the community? And those are the people that are giving it to me 100. And so it's like, I got 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and I'm gonna make a decision real soon as to if I'm gonna run or not. I have a little structure of a group of people around me that have worked in campaigns before. I try to keep a close circle, like I did with the campaign for mayor. You get too many people, too many cooks in the kitchen, and before you know it, you become a politician. I'm not no politician. I'm not trying to be a fucking politician. I'm trying to be a person, a community servant who. If I do run, that'll be the person that goes to Washington. That's for the people. That's the people's seat.
Well, unfortunately for me, in 2020, they wrote Miramar out of the district. They are not in the 20th district anymore, unfortunately. We're in
Correct.
24 and 25. So I am unable to vote for you. But if I was in the district, obviously I would. So the best that I can actually do is just help out here on the show and give you a platform and say, hey, campaign, if you choose to.
I think we just discovered his campaign slogan. I ain't trying to be no fucking politician. That's the that's the slogan, right? That's I'll wear that shirt. I'll wear that shirt, Luke. Right on the show, I'll wear that shirt.
Hey, the running slogan is, if you look at all these news articles, because obviously I've got so many requests. This is the only show that I've done, only podcast, because after it came out by Mark, and Stephen A, and I'm like, oh, fuck that, so a lot of people been asking me, they want, so the running slogan has been, I'm going to fight these motherfuckers.
Yeah, make sure you put his face on the shirt.
I'll put that on my shirt too. I'll wear that every day of the week. Twice
I like that.
So Uncle Luke, last night, Kevin Cate, very talented filmmaker, very prominent in the political comms, space, campaign ads and stuff like that. He has a very popular Twitter feed, particularly amongst Florida politicians, at Kevin Cate, C-A-T-E. And he had what do you call it? Twitter Spaces? What is this?
Spaces.
X Spaces.
Yeah.
So he had a Spaces last night with a Florida politics talk, which featured several Florida congressmen, including one Matt Gaetz from the Panhandle, who apparently had some words to say about you. Unfortunately, it's not recorded. It's just a live one. But I understand that, he had some shit to say about you paying off UM players. I heard he had some shit to say about you not having the guts to jump on the Spaces with him, to take him on. What do you have to say to Congressman Matt Gaetz?
Hey, let me tell you something. Just like I said from the beginning, that's public enemy number one. That's the motherfucker who I'm going out there to fight. Because at the end of the day, between him and Marjorie, lady in red,
Taylor Greene,
lady in the red hat, yeah, those are the two motherfuckers who you got to go after first. But at the end of the day, I got into the space. Somebody told me about the space. I went in there. It was glitching. It kept fucking glitching. And I said, look, if I get in, the guy sent me a mic, then he took it back. I requested, then he didn't bring me up. And one guy then said, oh, no, let's not get into this. Let's move on. Let's talk about, I want to talk to Matt and all that. And then I eventually ended up jumping out. One of my good friends was still in there, Ms. Leslie. And she said, oh, yeah, they just went on to start talking more shit that you scared to come up. One thing people know about me, I ain't scared of no motherfucking body. And especially no guy, no Matt Gaetz who bought pussy, So at the end of the day, if I'd have came up on the mic, that'd have been the first thing I'd have said. Look, bro, you know what I'm saying? You talking about I paid off players, but then you bought pussy. So you might need to have a conversation with me so I can teach you not how to go and buy pussy. You feel me?
Legally.
So at the end of the day, he should have just go ahead and gave you, Billy, the whole credit, because if you looked at the documentary, there was no time that I would say that I actually paid players off.
Well, also, aren't we
all wrong again? That's that politics shit as usual.
But aren't we we're like in a post NIL world now? You are really a pioneer in that space. Let's be real. And I think it was Republicans in the state of Florida that led the charge to create NIL laws here in the state of Florida, because, we had the NCAA dragging ass for like decades, who had the opportunity to effectuate some sort of change and reform. And they said, no, we like the old system. We're going to keep it the way it is. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, does Matt Gaetz not support NIL? Like,
exactly. He needs to figure out what he supports. So what happens with a lot of these guys in politics, whether they're Democrats or Republicans, but most Republicans, it's hard for them to tell the truth. It's hard for them to give props to and give credit where credit due, because he could have easily said, well, only thing I knew about Luther Campbell, which I find it real hard to understand. If you are an elected official in the state of Florida and you don't know who the fuck I am, that's a problem. That means you lived a sheltered life. And I guess that then goes to you buying pussy. Okay, so if you listen to some of my songs, you don't know, all you had to do is just pop on a Luke song and then look at your girl, and then, okay, she'll be on that. But that's a whole other story in itself. But to not know, that your party is the one who supported NIL with your, commander-in-chief down there in Tallahassee, Commandante, he was the main one signing NIL in all these different colleges. It's amazing. They just talk just to be talking. And a guy like Matt, listen, he's the guy, he and Marjorie and the whole Trump and this whole soft-ass Democratic Party team is the one that's motivating me to go and run, and God willing, I win. They're gonna have hell to deal with in Washington.
Luke, what do you mean soft? What do you mean
circle?
What do you mean soft ass Democratic team? What does that mean?
I mean, the Democratic Party is old, and we're a little soft. We let these. I mean, you go from the Tea Party spitting on congressmen and senators and shit. Then you go Trump's on steroids. After Trump on steroids, and they talking to the party in all these different types of ways. Now you have, they've came up with, they go from CRT to banning books to all these attacks against African Americans and democratic values. When I look at that, and I'm saying to myself, we need somebody to fight. I mean, we got Miss Crockett, Congresswoman Crockett, she's fighting. It seems like she's out there fighting by herself. So, at the end of the day, you have all these policies against African Americans. You don't have too much money going back into the African American community, whether it's Ron DeSantis taking it and holding it in Tallahassee, and the money not being trickled down. You don't have enough. You got a bunch of old ass congressmen and women. I think they need to create terms where some of these people need to term out. They don't have no more fight in them. You know what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, you know, you need fresh blood in there, not necessarily in a young person, but fresh blood of people like, you know, myself, people like you to go up in there, people who are on the ground floor that understands what the people need, because this shit is about the people. It ain't about, you know, lining your pockets. You got some Congress women that went in as fucking waitresses and bartenders, and now they worth $28 and $30 million. I mean, that ain't, you know, and then they all of a sudden they came in guns a-blazing, but then they, you know, they got a muzzle on them right now. So, you know, it just needs to be people who go in and represent the actual people and bring shit back, man. I go to Boyd Anderson. I rode through there and I'm looking at the high school. You know, I love Boyd Anderson, great history. And you looking at the high school and you seeing that this shit is depleted. It's like a third world country school where you need federal dollars to be put in there. You need representatives to be able to go and say, hey, look, man, you know, we need to change this. Those kids ain't got a fucking chance. So everybody think, oh, all right, we want to stop the gun violence in the Black community and people killing each other. But then when you look at the politicians, a lot of these politicians ain't doing the work to then be able to educate these kids and bring good paying jobs, you know, and not this fucking $13 an hour shit. You know, and I mean, think about it. I mean, we have a government that the minimum wage in the United States of America is $7 to $8. But thank God, state of Florida is $12 to $13. You know, you got people in Belgrade. Why the fuck does Belgrade look the same? Why haven't nobody been creative to create housing and create different opportunities for these people? So it's a lot of work to be done. You know,
Uncle Luke, it sounds to me like you just talked yourself into running right here
that's what
on
I've
the
been
show.
doing,
I mean, we got April. I think the deadline is at the end of this month to file to run in the Democratic primary, which I believe is in August of this year, and we are on our way to Representative Uncle Luke, Congressman Uncle Luke, or is it Uncle Congressman Luke? Whatever it is, I'm looking forward to it. And I have to extend an invitation to Congressman Matt Gaetz to join us anytime on the Because Miami podcast if he'd like an opportunity to respond.
Gracias, Matt Gaetz.
Or debate.
Bring his soft ass on here.
Or debate.
Before I announce, bring his soft ass on here.
Freak
For
Nick.
motherfuckers who don't know who I am, if you only know me for allegedly paying off players, then I need to give him a good education. We need to sing. We need to play some songs for him.
Well, he doesn't know his history because they're trying to eliminate it.
Me so horny. We need to. Well, Matt Gaetz, he should already know that there's a song exists called "Me So Horny," and because you know, again,
Matt Gaetz knows exactly who you are, Uncle Luke. There's no zero doubt in my mind. Freaknik, The Wildest Party Never Told, co-starring and executive produced by Luther Campbell, is now streaming on the Hulu machine. I just started it. It's so good. I'm loving it. And thank you, Uncle Luke, as always, for being here. And I look forward to wearing the shirt. I look forward to wearing the shirt.
I love the shirt, baby.
Uncle Luke for Congress.
This one. Luke for then it'll be Luke for Congress. So they got to get you. Oh, look at that, Luke for mayor. You boy, you looking good, Billy. You looking fucking good.
It's all about the Luke. That is Congressman Luther Campbell. Thank you so much for being here on Because Miami.
Thank you guys.
Vote for Luke. Cocaine's.